Shalom. Back at it again through the spirit and power of Yahawashi. Praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi, BaHaSham, Qadash.
Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GreatMillStone, who will well, peace and blessings to the elect, which consists of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Okay, so we're back here again. All right, as I said, through the spirit and power of Yahawashi, the undisclosed location yet again, and we're gonna get started with prophecy. You know, we got a lot going on, especially in Babylon the Great. Globally throughout the world. Of course, you know, there's COVID-19 business, but now you have the backlash of how people are reacting to these unjust laws and unjust righteous decrees. Can we start off with that? Isaiah 10 and 1, and 2nd Ezra 15 and 14.
Okay. I had 2nd Ezra 9, but you said
Oh, that's good too.
you want me to start there?
Yeah, start there.
2nd Ezra 9 and 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee.
It's called prophecy, you know, speaking of these things beforehand, before they happen. And what there was going to be earthquakes and uproars of the people. What you're seeing now in Michigan, what you're seeing now, Texas, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Virginia, all of these states. All right, you're seeing uproars of the people because what they're mad. Number one, because like I said, these unjust laws making decrees out of nowhere that now you have to lock yourself down and you have to stay home. Okay. On top of that, you have uproars coming now in New York. Hashtag can't pay, won't pay.
Let's move over.
Let's move over.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a thing in New York called hashtag can't pay, won't pay, and that's because now here it is. You have government officials telling people that they can't work in non-essential businesses, so they have to shut down. So people are losing their jobs. A lot of people are losing their jobs, but at the same time, they expect these people to still pay their rent, and the people are like, well, that's, you know, for lack of a terms, that's bullshit, man. You know, so they're mad and they're saying not only can't we pay, but even if we had the money, we won't pay. Okay, so that's of people. That's a bold statement. All right, and that's also even more if the economy isn't crashing and spiraling out of control at a rapid rate. How much more so if now that people aren't paying their rent? Okay, so this place is done with, man. This place is finished. Right.
Verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, the end is manifest.
And the end is made manifest through the prophecies. We're seeing all these things come to pass, okay? Babylon the Great cannot rule on forever, all right? Hey, what about the prophecy of the kingdom of heaven? If the kingdom, people, you know, you got people that call themselves to be Christians, call themselves to be Bible thumpers, if they say the Lord's Prayer and say thy kingdom come. In order for the Lord's kingdom to come, this kingdom has to go first, man. Okay? And it's just written, man. 2nd Ezra is the 6th chapter. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of the world. Right? So-called Chinese, so-called Russians and other nations, you're not going to rule this planet next. It's going to be Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the true Israelites. All right?
Yeah, I got some. This is Jeremiah chapter 51 and 7. It says, Babylon has been the golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad.
Therefore, the nations are mad. And you know, Esau has a lot of philosophies. That's what that wine represents. Right? The number one philosophy is this democracy. And you see that democracy has ruined the planet. Okay, because really, the Lord doesn't deal in democracy. The Lord deals in absolute. But what Esau Edom does is he makes absolute seem wicked. You know, you have Star Wars, verse 3, I think it was Revenge of the Sith or Return of the Sith. And they had that big battle between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. And Anakin Skywalker said to Obi-Wan Kenobi, either you're with me or you're my enemy. And Obi-Wan was like, well, only a Sith deals in absolute. Well, the Lord deals in absolute, you know? So you see how Esau tries to spin it. So what? Now you have this democracy out here, and now you have hashtag free your hair over there in the Middle East. Rampant homosexuality,
Homosexuality.
yeah, spreading out through all the gold.
Yep.
All right, through the wine and philosophy of this devil, man.
That's right.
You know.
Yeah, even on so-called Holy Land, they have Pink City, Tel Aviv, one of the biggest gay parades annually in the world on Holy Land.
And they go by Rawchaa Boulevard too.
Wow, and yet another prophecy, Zechariah chapter 9 verse 6, where it says a bastard shall
Nine-
go and
nine-
ask us, man. You know, these scriptures are real, man. You know.
Hey, that's why when the Most High bring these devils to a halt and shut their kingdom down, the other nations are going to be mad because they took part in the ways, the philosophies, and the ways of the devils, of these Edomites, man. So the other nations going to be mad, man, as the scripture says.
Yeah. What's that? We're in Revelation 18 chapter where this place is fallen and fallen, and all the other members of the nations.
Man, I find that
shall
funny.
wail. You know. Why? Because what they dealt deliciously with this whore, which is Babylon the Great. You know.
This is verse 8. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen, destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed.
And right now they're trying to take balm for the pain now with these stimulus checks and all these things. They're trying to breathe life back into this place, but all they're doing is crashing it. You know, that's what this Federal Reserve was designed to do in the first place when it came about in I think it was 1908, 1913, I believe it is, where the Federal Reserve first came into play. Ever since they came into play, all they've been doing is printing money out of thin air. All right. Now we just had a stimulus bill where everybody, well, most people, a lot of people, I know a lot of people that didn't get it, but I know a lot of people that did get it. They got $1,200 each, and I know at the end of this month, maybe starting in June, Trump signed a bill to get another extra $2,000. Where's this money coming from, man? It's coming from the printing press, man.
Yep.
That's Babylon the Great trying to take a balm for a pain, trying to put a Band-Aid on a broken leg, man.
Yeah, filling up that balloon that's gonna pop.
Yeah, when you look at it, you know, it's like a doctor. Like when you become a doctor, you take a Hippocratical oath, you know, meaning basically just to sell medicine. You know, in the root word of the Hippocratical is what? Hypocrite. You know, so Esau is a hypocrite, and as he's trying to basically, let's say, you know, you got this woman, which is America, right? And she's damn near on her deathbed, and he's trying to pump life into her. But really, it's just like the doctors in the hospital. They're not really trying to save you. They're just trying to keep you alive enough to put that money, that medicine in you, so that they can get that money from that insurance. You know,
That hospital bed per day is a charge. So
That's why it says they are physicians of no value.
I got that right here.
Like the brother said too, they're hypocrites. Goes back to the Greek word hypocrites. You know, and doctor, you know, means to falsify.
Yeah.
And hypocrite is like a stage player or a pretender. And that's what Esau is.
yeah. No, that verse that you just read, it says something about destroyed.
yeah.
Okay,
It
so
says,
right there.
verse 8. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed.
Destroyed. And I remember the apostles went into that a while ago. That word destroyed means to destructure. So literally right now we're watching everything being destructured from the gas. This gas, people swear that as you see this shit drop is a good thing, but that's actually a terrifying sign, because right now with the gas slowing up, there's a backup with that. There's stores shut down. People aren't going nowhere. It's eventually just gonna crash the dollar. It's like when there's an artery and it's clogged, like the flow is not going the way it's supposed to. So it's gonna back up and burst, and henceforth destroyed.
Pressure plus pipes.
Yep.
That's right.
Quick precept. Psalm chapter 75 verse 7. But the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. So that's just the Most High just deconstructing
Taking you
thing,
apart, just like Rome, ancient Rome.
Man.
It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let her go into everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies.
Meaning don't put no faith in this place, man.
Right.
Everybody that has half a brain and the money to do it has already fled the country, man. Okay? Because this place is ultimately going to be destroyed. And Esau knows that, man. Okay? That's why they're building underground bunkers over there in New Zealand and things over there on the other side. That's why they're building underground bunkers in America.
Belgium.
They actually built already. They built. And now the elites, they said a few weeks ago, they went underground. Where was it at? They said they had the Pentagon guards to guard the actual facility that they at in the mountains, basically in them underground tunnels. Now you got the Pentagon guards to protect them, and that was weeks ago when they said they went down into to the ground, you know, went into the mountains. But it says the Lord Yahawah have brought forth our righteousness. Come and let's declare in Zion the work of the Lord our power.
And that last verse that you read about her judgment reaching the heavens, that's all that smoke and everything once this place gets pelted with nuclear missiles. That's all that's going to reach onto the heavens, because how the scriptures say that the smoke will go
Will
on
ascend forever and ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Kinda.
So jumping back onto here real quick, 2 Ezra 9 and 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs, which we're seeing. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed.
And that's talking about the elect, right? Only the elect of the nation of Israel are going to be saved. Okay, anybody else, all right, of any other nation, all right, that happens to make it through their underground bunkers or fleeing into the mountains, you're only preserved so that you could go to slavery, man. You know, only the Israelites, and more so specifically, only the elect can be saved.
You want to start in Isaiah 10?
No, that's cool. Let's go to let's start at Isaiah. No, I'm sorry. 2 Ezra 15 and 14. Start there, because like I said, man, we're seeing these uproars of the people, and that was a perfect scripture to start off with, man. Uproar. We're seeing the earthquakes, earthquakes all over the place. Strange happenings with the weather. One week it's cold, the next week it's hot. We're going into May, and it's still getting that cold temperature out here.
That's right, because it's a sign of an unbalanced kingdom.
That's right.
They destroy the earth. The Lord said he'll destroy those that destroy the earth. Yeah. It's an unbalanced kingdom. There's nothing like lined up. It's out of order.
Yeah, and
exactly.
I think you mentioned, last week, something like that too. Like you're starting to see more birds that aren't supposed to be in this region.
I seen it this morning. I seen a falcon drop one of those little sparrows. He's trying to sit and try to, he dropped him and flew away. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I see, this is the second falcon I've seen in a few weeks.
They've been acting different.
One of them crashed into one of those lampstands, like boom, and like was chasing a bird, a pigeon or something.
Everything is out of order. Matter of fact, before we get into that, what was it too? In the wintertime, I see a lot of seagulls. Like there'll be a winter snowstorm and stuff, and they'll be looking up, and there's like a flock of seagulls just flying in a circle because they don't know where to go.
The animals will change their places.
Y'all ain't supposed to be here right now. It's a blizzard. Yeah.
Yeah, just a couple of months ago, you had a deer here in North New Jersey running through the city. Mind you, this is the city part. This is the almost downtown area. What is the deers being up in the woods of Jersey, being way down here in the city? And then you had a lamb, a sheep, running through the city, and you had a bunch of niggas. Yo, what's that? That's a lamb. Yo, what the fuck? They just calling it a goat, and it was a lamb.
I actually got that. Psalms 82 and 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
That's right.
Yeah, all the foundations of the earth are out of course, man. Everything's out of whack. And that goes in that scripture as well, Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn. You can't tell me anyone around us right now is rejoicing, man. Everybody around here is miserable. You got Jake that'll always make the best out of the situation. But when it comes to all these Edomites, look at these Edomites down in Michigan, man. They rushed the Capitol building, all right, with the assault rifles, man. They ain't playing. And Esau, these Bible thumping Edomites, I heard from the Apostles of Heart, he's absolutely correct. They're the ones that are going to set up all the sedition amongst men, all these race riots, because they're the ones that actually have something to lose in this kingdom.
Right, exactly.
Jake don't get too mad when they broke. They kind of just get used to it. You Edomites, you have a chip on your shoulder.
You want a 2 Ezra 15?
Yeah, 14.
2 Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
So woe to the world and the earth. Read it again. Sorry.
Woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
And them that dwell therein. Woe means destruction. Okay. And by sword, it says?
Yeah, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
Yeah, so the sword, you know, modern day sword, of course, would be the gun. All right, any kind of Esau's weaponry, which Esau was given. All right, if you don't know the story, all right, he was the older brother of Jacob and Esau. All right, which were born of Rebecca. All right, and Isaac. Okay, and Esau was given the blessing of the sword, and he was told that by thy sword thou shalt live. All right, so when Esau is backed into a corner, his natural reaction is violence.
Murder,
okay.
Right.
That's why you see these Edomites coming out there rushing the Capitol with guns, chanting, "Let us in." You're gonna hear what the hell we gotta say, you know, things like that. And you got Trump on television like, "Yo, make a deal with them. You better talk to him," you know, because these Edomites, their gun goes off. They call us gangsters and thugs and hooligans. Y'all niggas are the gangsters.
Yeah, that's the original gangster right there.
You're the
Esau.
original gangster, man.
The original OG.
We can't do that. Like, let's say so-called minorities, so-called Negroes, Latinos, we can't go to the Capitol building with guns. Nope. We can't even get near that shit with that.
Gunned down.
Get gunned down.
The Israelites can't even make a video and speak on guns without being persecuted by the feds, man.
Exactly.
You know, where here you got an Edomite, he'll purposely carry his gun and he will threaten and say, "I'll dare you." You know?
Good point. Down in Dallas, GMS Dallas, remember the Edomite came up with his gun and trying to threaten the brothers down there. And they was like, no, it was like fears, like, no fears.
All right, talk about doing a protest. Right now, we're doing a peaceful protest right now with a Bible. And then we got to do it in the cut because these Edomites might run us off the corner, man. You know?
Or look at our videos, man. That's a damn shame here on YouTube. We just reading the scriptures and brothers go through more persecution than regular YouTubers, man.
You ain't lying.
Here it is, brothers bringing out scriptures, you know, speaking the truth, and they want to take that off. They want to shut down whole channels, man. When you got other people out here where you got a section on YouTube where they're promoting homosexuality. You got men dressed as drags, and men dressed as women dressed as men, and have the nerve to be teaching preschoolers, man. And they don't take that down. You know, that's how you know this is Babylon the Great. And Babylon the Great means what? Great confusion.
Yo, there's a video online. I only know this because I was watching a particular video on YouTube and they mentioned it. But there was this artist called Bjork. Bjork. She's a singer. I think she's like a British singer or something like that. And she had a stalker. Now this dude made a documentary of himself, videotaping himself, even making a bomb to mail it into her thing, mail it to her, and then did all types of crazy gestures, and then ultimately shot himself in the mouth through his brain on YouTube. They censored that part out, but they showed the entire thing of everything that he was saying. He was walking around naked and all this shit. He was bugging. But that's on YouTube though. They got videos that
showing you who got the truth.
Yeah, and also too on YouTube.
That's right.
You know, for women because you can look up anything. There's everything on YouTube, just like it is on Google. It's already attached. So here it is. You got women that may be pregnant, right? And someone put me on. You know, they told me about this because they was looking up on natural pregnancy and the right way to have to have a baby. And you know, naturally a woman's supposed to have a baby standing up and have caregivers catch the baby when she pop it out.
That's right.
And you got Edomites that are showing it for educational purposes. A woman giving birth on YouTube, and none of it is censored. None of it is like, you know, the blood where you can't see her chest. Or
supposed to be concealed.
And she's actually, as a family, the husband and the kids are sitting there watching her because they want to document it and show people how to have a baby at home. And it was all nudity. You know, you watching this woman give birth, you see her whole everything. You know, don't take that down. And that was a video a few months ago, but the video was actually created about 5 years ago. You know, it's old.
That's crazy.
And one thing too, to mention this too, that you know that facts of facts that Benjamin H. Freedom got videos on YouTube exposing his own people, right? Yeah. But they don't take those videos down. But when we talk about facts of facts, boop, they censor it. That's how you know, because they know who the real Israelites are. They know that this dude, he just exposing his own people.
Exactly. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition, verse 15, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another.
All right, so that's what? That's race riots. That's race wars. That's civil war, you know? You're gonna have all types of class wars. There's gonna be all types of factions out there, man. You know.
Not to cut you off,
No, you got it.
but why is it that we got to stay in a state of ignorance when it's common sense to understand, you know, what's going on outside, what's going on in the world? You know, see, Esau wants to have Jake stay in a state of ignorance, like we're nothing, we're nobody. Same thing they was doing to us when they brought us off those ships, man. Treating us like animals, man. You know, they expect you today to just be the animal, be the dog, be the cat. You know, we used to be their damn pets, man. They used to walk around with the girl, the little girl, little Edomite woman, little girl. She would carry a rope around another, let's say, an Israelite girl about the same age as her, and she would have a rope around her neck, dragging her around the damn house.
Like walking a dog.
You know, like you walking a dog, man. So that's why it's like Esau gets mad when we see something, but why we got to stay in a state of ignorance? Why we can't speak on what's going on in the world, and why we can't predict or, let's say, prophesize, as the scriptures say? Because that's what we're doing, to say things before they happen. It's brewing.
Yeah.
You know, it's happening. A civil war will happen if it keeps going the way that it's going now.
They wanted to keep us in slavery. That's why they wanted to keep us from reading the book, because the book is the light. It gives you answers, gives you know-how, insight on what's going on. So even to this day, the only ones that got the know-how is going to be the elect. Because if you see our people, that's why they're so shook, and they can't even go outside, and they're terrified because of their ignorance.
All right, real quick. This is Genesis chapter 49, 1. I'm gonna jump down. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, crouched as a crouched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up, man? Right. You know, so there's only a certain amount of times where you could just keep backing Jake into the corner, man, before we lash out, man. You know,
because in the 1970s you had like the Black Panthers, and I believe it was the I forgot the other party, but you had the Black Panthers. They were roused up. You know what I mean? They were fighting against Esau. Right. But a lot of them were working as informants for Esau, so Esau took them down.
The one thing about back then was that Jake was separate. You know, it was separate from Esau in society, certain markets, certain businesses, where Jake had their own. And what it was, you had Esau would try to come into Jake home, and all the community would stand up against them devils, man. You know, at that point. But guess what? They wasn't teaching the truth. All right, that was a moment. That was a season in time. All right, even though the prophets were out even back then, but now we can see that the prophecies is being fulfilled because the Lord is manifesting things before our eyes, man. You see?
Yeah. And like I said, all these shutdowns, you're back in the corner because you got Edomites complaining. How you think Jake's doing in this situation where what 30 to 50%? You know, a lot of people like I think it was Apostle the Heart that said on a global scale, 50% of the globe is unemployed, man.
Right.
How many of them are Israelites, man? You know, and you still expect them to pay rent and all these obligations that they gotta do. They ain't allowed to go outside and work if their business isn't essential. What's eventually gonna rouse Jake up, man? Ultimately, when you take food out of his stomach, when you take food out of his mouth, out of his children's mouth, man, Jake's gonna lose it.
Because it's and this is even in scientific terms, that the natural instinct for a living organism is to fight for survival, to feed. So right now, especially, they just showed that on CNN how the military is going to start probably have to ration the food out. So once the people start starving the way they were headed towards a famine, that's when they're going to be compelled just by their damn insides to go out there and just get it by force, by any means.
I'll tell you this too, that see, a lot of Israelites asleep, you know, to the truth, to Yahawashi, and a lot of them despise it. That's why they sleep, because they despise this word. But guess what? Esau, you're gonna have trouble, because these niggas today that you call niggas, not the same niggas that was back in slavery. These niggas are 10 times worse.
They're a whole different
breed of niggas that you're not just going, you know, just have your way with. You know, they already ain't got shit. losing mothers, fathers, brothers, children. They're already going through that now, you know. So to bring in military and divide them, yeah, it's gonna hurt, but this is something we used to, you know. So you're dealing with a whole nother Jake that the Lord say He gonna rile up.
And one people shall stand up and fight against another, swords in their hands.
Yep.
For there shall be sedition among men.
Right, sedition among men. Now, real quick, let me bring that out. Because in the Webster 1828 dictionary, I'm gonna jump down a little bit. It says, a factious commotion of the people, a tumultuous assembly of men rising in opposition to law or the administration of justice. Okay, and I seen a lot of that this week. You know, matter of fact, we speaking on Jake too. Hashtag we can't pay, we won't. Hashtag can't pay, won't pay. In that rally up in Albany, New York, the main dude in front of it was a Judite, man. You know, I believe he appeared to be. You know, but basically you got Jake out here angry. You know, protesting the best way he know how. He ain't had no gun because he ain't stupid. He would have got down. You know, but Jake is getting riled up, man. And this sedition is in opposition of law or administrative justice. The rulers of this world, man. You know,
the administration.
There shall be sedition among men and invading one another.
Invading one another, home invasions. When you start running out of food, you know that reminds me of the purge. The purge, you know, you got the neighbors that were ultimately jealous of the main character. Talking about the very first movie that came out. Remember that, Jay?
One way the Romans took the Israelites down back in 66 to 73 AD was to famine us.
Yeah.
One way. They made a trench round about the Yahawashi spoke about that in Luke 19:43. They said make a trench. And that word trench, I was looking it up, it goes to Karax or palisade. So they're gonna, you know, it all ties in, man. They're gonna offer that, okay, you don't want to do this, like they're gonna make a trench.
They starved them out, showing the wickedness, and again, that's the same modern day Romans today. They shall not regard their kings nor princes.
All right, so it doesn't matter who they put on the television set. They could put Obama on the television set. They could put Oprah Winfrey on the television set. They could put LeBron James up there. Ain't nobody gonna listen to what anybody gotta say, man.
Not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their powers.
Meaning that they're gonna do whatever the hell they see fit for survival.
Right.
Okay.
A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
Because what? Because when the people buck up against the government, you know, like I said, the rulers of these world are the Edomites, man. Their only reaction to any problem is with violence.
Yep.
So what are they gonna do? You got Jake rounding up, you got Edomites, got guns and militias and all these things. Time to bring out the military, time to bring out the army and separate these people so they don't organize themselves to be a big, great force.
And
you know?
I believe it was during Sandy or something, or maybe around 2017, 2015, that they put those big metal gates, the huge gates, the floodgates, to shut off Lincoln Tunnel.
Midtown or Battery Tunnel, one of those tunnels going into Manhattan to Queens. And it says Pluribus Unum on it.
Exactly.
Out of many we are one, so New World Order.
It's straight New World Order agenda that whenever it should get so real that people are going to want to walk that tunnel, let's say, because some major shit that's going on in the epicenter right now, they just got to shut those gates off.
Yep.
You know, and that's exactly the prophecy right here. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So right now, we're seeing this fear campaign going on.
The media pumps out this fear.
Yeah, real quick, precept behind that. This is Zechariah chapter 14:1. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle. And the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth to captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Lord Yahawah go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of the battle. Now he's just going, you know, comparing it to what the brother bringing out as prophecy, because this right here is also prophecy. It happened in the past, but it's going to happen again. And they're gonna round the cities off, man. And it says what? Let me read that again. It says, and then the cities shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished. That means that they're gonna have their military troops go into each house in each city and state and ravish your women, man. Ravish means to rape, you know, to take by force, man. You know, so things are gonna happen in these last days, man.
You know, there's a lot of subtle things I see too on the media as well, how they're trying to make it seem like this whole COVID-19 thing is actually a little bit more infectious towards so-called minorities, you know, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, things of that nature. So it makes it seem like we're more contagious than everyone else and that we're the problem.
Yep.
Hey, Trump just signed an executive order for 200 troops, all right, reserves, to actually occupy in the states, to start really, we know they here, they got their equipment here. Now he have signed an executive order, I believe it's 200, you know, which they just, you know, and it's pretty, he could send as many as he want, but I think it said 200, but he has now assigned executive orders for these troops to actually start working out in the streets. Start doing, we're gonna probably start seeing them within these coming weeks. You know, we're gonna start seeing the military here in the States, even though we know they're here, you know.
And by the time they do come back on the streets, the people should already be conditioned to seeing them, because what they were out here before, back when 9/11 and things of that nature. When downtown Manhattan it became weird at first. You see armed guards just sitting there in the middle, everybody's walking back and forth to work. You just got an armed guard there with a big ass gun in case something pops off. You know, that was going on for years. So when it's time to happen again, you know, people are gonna probably not even bat an eye at it, man, because they already seen it before. Yep.
Back in 2 Ezra 15:19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Yeah, when you know, everybody, I think the Joker said it on the thing. He'd be like, these civilized people, you know, I'll show you these civilized people. When the time gets rough, they'll eat each other. You know, because what? When your pockets ain't full, when your stomach is empty, when your ribs are touching and you're hungry, you got your kids crying in your ear, your wife complaining in your ear. You know what I mean? Your love is gonna grow cold to another man's plight, man. Here it is. Your neighbor could have the exact same problems, could be worse off than you, you know, but here you worried about yours, man. The love of many is gonna wax cold.
And I have a screenshot of the CNN news, I believe yesterday or 2 days ago. You could look it up. It's like coronavirus pandemic, military putting limit on meat purchases amid supply fears. So this is headed to now, to get into Walmart, you're already being conditioned to line up or outside of Walmart, ShopRite, you know, social distance. There's a line coming around the corner. But now it's going to be rationed by military and police, armed guards. Because like the brother's saying, we've already gotten accustomed to the militarization of police.
Right.
So now when you see next to the fucking cash register, there's a troop with an M16. You're going to think that it's for your own safety.
Right. Yeah.
And the scriptures talk about that by peace and safety, he shall destroy many. So back in 2 Ezra 15:19, 20, behold, saith the Most High.
Oh, it's luck. You were talking about the meat before too. You know what? A lot of these farmers have been on record saying that they've been dumping all their milk and throwing away all their cattle. Like good meat that could have made it to a supermarket. They're purposely trying to starve these things, man. Like starve these stores. You see a lot of stores. I forget which state it was, but they show it on the news. Empty shelves, man. You know, put one last piece of meat on there left. You know, it's
but I think I seen it too. A bunch of chickens. They're like we're getting rid of burying them and stuff.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna say that it's contaminated.
Right.
I don't know. You got something?
No, not yet. Sorry, I was looking up.
I'll jump over to Isaiah 10.
Yeah,
Isaiah 10. Woe unto them, Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees.
Yeah, woe means destruction. You know, these Edomites make the rules up as they go along. You know, now they have a COVID sniffing dog. Come on, man. Now you have now they're saying that they have a dog that. Now, all right. Let's see. Let's look at this scenario. We got to paint this out in our picture. Right? We got to paint this picture in our head right now, right? There's 4 of us right here, right now. Some cops roll up with a dog. The dog comes by, sniffs us, and growls at one of us.
Starts barking.
All of a sudden, because of that dog, All right, now or the dog handler, we know about false signals.
Yep.
All right, all of a sudden now we got to come with the officer now. You know,
Funny-
we got
funny
to
that
we
they
got to
just
get a
passed by,
test.
too.
We got to get a test. We got to get something stuck up our nose or something.
Yep.
Raise our temperature
Yeah.
and all these things. You know, that's an unrighteous decree, man. Why do you think these Edomites are bugging out, man? Telling people to stay home and all these things. Those are breaking against these Edomites' constitutional rights.
Their
man.
own laws, their amendments that were amendment, which we always bring out. It means to alter or to change. Because these devils always got a plan and a plot to change things as they go along.
Yeah.
They lose in every aspect we bring out. They lose. They can't defeat.
unstable.
They can't defeat these scriptures.
Ooh, you're right,
Unstable in
unstable.
all ways,
A double-minded man.
unstable,
A double-minded
exactly.
man is unstable
in all his ways.
man. Esau is double-minded. He'll have a law and gun laws. Here it is. He'll have the Second Amendment, but then all of a sudden now he wants to get rid of everybody's guns and de-arm the population. You know, that's double-mindedness. This place is unstable, man. You have Democrats and Republicans divided damn near 50% of the state. That's that beast with the two horns, man. You know, unstable.
They got can I just bring it out? Right? The definition for policy, right? The word police goes back to policy, and it goes back to a Greek word polis, which means city or administration, right? Or policy, way of management, study or practice of government, all right, so on and so forth. But that's where the word police comes from. So even if you got a higher ranking military, that's still policy to control and administer whatever these fake laws. Right.
Yeah, here's a quick article that backs up the brother. You could just type this. It says dogs are being trained to sniff out COVID-19 in humans. In the first paragraph, it says scientists are training dogs to identify COVID-19 by following their nose. Now, this is an assault on your intelligence, man. You know, because dogs can only sniff blood if you are cut and if you're leaking from somewhere. But dogs only pick up scent or smell whatever scents that's on you. They can't smell a virus. You know.
Can I just real quick? They have what you call a bloodhound, like the brother said. To smell blood. That's what type of dog they used to get on Jake down south. And I mean, the chases down. They'll let a Israelite slave run away, like a runaway, and they'll have the bloodhound just for Esau's entertainment and to catch the runaway slave. Yeah.
It says a new program at the University of Pennsylvania School of Veterinary Medicine, Penn Vet, is putting noses to the grindstone for diseases detections. It says researchers are working with dogs to see if the canine superior sniffers can help with early detection of COVID-19 in humans.
Crazy.
You know?
I got a scripture. This is Proverbs 14:15. It says, "The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going." So, you know, there's a lot of idiots that watch that idiot box on the television screen and are going to believe that, man.
Yep.
They're going to be like, oh, well, I better go see, am I good? You know, this and that. Meanwhile, the dog bark. They pull you over to the side and actually give you the damn virus, man.
So that means Esau's technology is not, adding up.
Exactly, and that's a good point, because he has all these machines that can check your temperature. He has all these different devices, right? 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Ultimately, this is all leading up to the RFID microchip, okay, which is the mark of the beast. All right, that you just cut to the chase and get to the point, man. You know, because look at what's going on in Sweden. All right, Sweden isn't practicing social distancing. They aren't wearing masks. They aren't shutting everything down. They're living about their daily lives as if nothing's going on. And why is that? Because everybody in Sweden, the vast majority of them, has the chip on them.
Exactly.
Man. Okay,
exactly,
that's ultimately where they want you to be.
So that lets you know that, look, this is not about COVID. This is not about C-19, man. It's not about C-19. It's about power and control. And what they're doing, they're using gradualism to gradually bring you into this new way of living, man. You know, they got to break down society. They got to break some backs. They're going to have to eliminate some people, you know, just so that they can reach their goal, you know, of having this cashless society. everything is done digitally, ultimately to put a chip inside you.
Right.
Because that's the main goal. If he just came out and said, you know what, y'all, just put this goddamn chip in you. Because eventually he gonna say that. You know what, enough is enough, you know, put this chip in you or else.
Right.
You know, because really when Trump made he made the statement of, you know, we're at war with the invisible, really he at war, the government is at war with you. You know, why they at war with you? Because they need to get you to go according to the way they want you to go. So they could be gods, man. You know?
Right. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he has power to do in the sight of the beast. There it is. He's deceiving people by one of these miracles is known as these vaccines, man. Okay? So what? You have something that's known as a national pandemic, a global pandemic. All right, and then all of a sudden you have these particular individuals that actually have a cure for this. You know, that's a miracle, and you're using that to deceive the people and ultimately and ultimately guide them towards getting this RFID chip, man. You know?
No, just scoot it down, Yeah, so you straight. Go ahead.
God. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. Okay, meaning what? This is the revitalized ancient Roman Empire, man. You know, this is Rome all over again. Okay, we got a lot of Nicholas around here.
Yeah, stay in the spirit.
You know? So I'll read it again. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. So what? You got vaccines. This chip in itself is a miracle. You wave your hand over a door, it opens. Okay, you could scan your medical records and put it on there.
Prostate.
Yeah. You could take the water. You could take a perfectly jacked up paraplegic who's paralyzed from the waist down. Put some chips in them. And with the miracle of modern day technology, make those individuals walk again. Okay, that's considered a miracle, man. You know. So it says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had a wound by the sword and did live. All right, so the ancient Roman Empire brought back all over again. All right, this is Babylon the Great all over again. Okay, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak.
Hey, spread out.
And match too up.
It says should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
They're gonna drive around here.
They can't fit me.
Stay in the spirit, Doc, so we'll decide whatever happens. You know, just keep pushing.
People sitting right there.
Okay.
But they're gonna play this with fun.
They got boys in 3.
Yeah, we got both. That's fine.
The parks are open today.
Is that the person open?
Yeah.
Yeah, just stay in the spirit, Doc. Whatever they.
Yeah. All right, so verse 16, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, we bring that a million times. You know what that is? That's that mark, that mark, charagma, all right, which is that incision, all right, from the root word charax, which is that pail. That's that syringe that they take and they put it under your skin. They pump the handle on it and they push the chip into your hand. Okay, and if you're an Israelite, if you're a Negro, Latino, Native American, Indian, and you take that chip, all right, you're going to be destroyed. All right, it doesn't matter if you take it out. As soon as the Esau starts rolling in, you know, you're still going to be destroyed. And this thing is being pushed out there, man. You know, you got online websites. I know there's dangerousthings.com and there's iRobot.com, a new one I just found the other day. All right, where you could go online, buy an entire testing kit, buy an entire kit for it. Oh, we gotta move out the way.
Yeah, that's real quick though, because you're gonna have to drive over here.
You should be good. The parks are open today.
What's going on, folks? It's still closed. City parks are closed.
said the parks were open today.
Don't even argue with them. We turn it off and we turn it back on. Damn devils go against their own shit.
be back.
How you shut it off?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, real quick.
City parks are still closed.
I thought because the mayor, he said it.
No, county parks open, like Greenfield, Creekway, all parks are open. All city work.
You know what call that?
So we go to Weekway, we all right?
Nah.
All right, thank you. I think officer. Yeah, we go to Weekway, yo.
It's soft now, right?
Yeah.
No problem, sir. No problem.
Turn it off.
Yeah, it's off. I believe it's off. You just continue.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Hey, Dan, sit long. Hey, Shalom, brothers. We gonna start right back up. We about to head to one of the other parks that they said it was cool. So see you later. Shalom.